I have to share with you guys, this has become my favorite spot. At Corkscrew Sanctuary. It's just a little shelter and it overlooks this swamp behind me, and it is one of the most peaceful places in this entire place.
Got that feeling in your arms and knees, the kind of feeling where you simply freeze. Don't you worry, let me throw you up, 'cause I think I know where you always stuck. You give everything so easily, but there are things you don't let people see.
We made it to Corkscrew Sanctuary. This is a lovely place that is run by the Audubon Society. So lots of birds, lots of wildlife here, and we're really excited for this 2-mile hike.
You give everything so easily, but there are things you don't let people see. Open up and hammer down the wall, and all the fighting, and just let it fall. My love.
So this area is currently going from their wet season to dry season. Summer is their wet season, winter is their dry season, and they're running about 10 inches behind in rain right now, but looking pretty good here.
How come the stars come to shine when it's dark? From so far away, show us where we are. What makes the sun go to sleep every night, and what's it dreaming of?
We were really excited to see back there further on the path, there was a tricolored heron. I'd never seen one before. Thanks to my Merlin app. This is your bird nerd alert. Download the Merlin app if you like to identify birds and see what kind of birds are out in your backyard or around you. Thanks to my Merlin app, I was able to identify it as a tricolor heron.
How come the sky sometimes hides behind the clouds? Maybe it's just like me, a little bit scared of heights. Why does the rain always keep on pouring?
At the beginning of the trail, this boardwalk, they have a chalkboard where you can write down any wildlife sightings that you have. So people have written panther, raccoons, moccasins, and a ton of different birds, barred owl. So we're really excited to see what we can see here today.
It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. It really makes me wonder. Ooh, I wonder. How come the trees get undressed when it's cold? And don't they miss the leaves they left behind? Could it be to make the ground shine like gold until winter comes? Until winter comes.
He's climbing down. There's a raccoon in that tree. He was munching on some berries or something, enjoying himself. He's climbing down now, I think. Oh, maybe not. You kind of see him up there. We got another raccoon sighting. See all that stuff moving? You can see him a little bit through the woods.
I'm walking down the street on clouds instead of the concrete I'm dancing through. Everything's things about to come my way. Nothing can ruin my day, no matter what anyone does or say. I smile at fools. No, I don't care, cause I am on my way up, and I won't.
So we just spotted another raccoon, and Mike said raccoons know how to swim. And I said, well, do they know how to do a cannonball? Next thing we hear is a huge splash. I was like, they know how to do a cannonball. But seriously, it was so cool to see a raccoon up that close. He was not bothered by us at all. He was maybe 4 or 5 feet away from us. And he swam away and went somewhere else.
Down, steady on my feet, I'm gonna rise up. No, I won't stop. It is my time. Cause I know what it's like to be broke. I know what it's like when nothing goes your way. So I'm gonna let myself.
We are headed to the plume hunters camp. In the 1800s, these birds, the egrets and the great blue heron, were hunted almost to the point of extinction for their feathers for women's hats.
Yeah, I am on my way up. I won't slow down. I'm strolling down the street.
So now that hunting is illegal and they're no longer used to adorn women's hats, their biggest issue now is the fact that their habitat is being destroyed to build housing developments and shopping centers. The area you see here that's all been saved is prime nesting ground for egrets and other birds that were basically used just for feathers, just for decorations.
Wanna be free of this heart, yeah. Wanna feel your arms around me. I need you more, need you here, more than I would like to admit. Let's forget about tomorrow, yeah. Should I hide away forever? Should I close my eyes and never again hold you tight, call you mine, think about you every time? I remember that it's over, yeah. You never break, you never lie, you never ever scared of the dark.
We just wrapped up here at the Corkscrew Sanctuary. Big tip, make sure you don't come during a holiday weekend when all the kids are out of school. It's wonderful to see all the kids here. You need a little bit of peace and quiet to be able to kind of sneak up on the birds and stuff, so to speak. The more you talk on the boardwalk, the further you push the wildlife away. But it's really cool. We are definitely coming back.
For sure, we will be back. Probably middle of the week, first thing in the morning. Yeah.
Good morning again. We're back from our walk/hot tub. We did 2 miles this morning. Now it's time for Cooking with the Quades, breakfast edition. I'm going to get everything prepped up, do a little time lapse, so you guys don't have to sit there and watch me tediously chop everything. And then we're going to get everything cooked on the Blackstone. This morning we're having hash browns, scrambled eggs with onions, and we are cutting up the leftover standard rib roast we did for Christmas. It'll be the last little bit, we'll be all done. We call it bowl hash because we actually put it in a bowl. We don't mix everything up. Chrissy likes to have a couple layers of cheese on top of hers. So hang tight and we'll get this thing started. Now that all the prep work's out of the way, let's get this Blackstone fired up. So we'll give this thing a couple minutes to get heated up here, and we'll get our hash brown started. They're going to take the longest because we like these things nice and crispy. So the key to getting nice crispy hash browns is to keep the grill nice and hot, but not only that, keep the layers really thin and don't let them pile up. Whatever the thickness you want the inside to be depends on how thick you start the first layer of cooking. So the thicker it is, the less crispy it'll be on the inside. We like them really crispy, so I keep these pretty thin. They're about a ½ inch thick. These are going to have to cook for about 10 or 15 minutes, so I will get right back with you guys when we're starting to add the rest of the ingredients to our breakfast. All right, back to the action. We're going to add a little salt and pepper to these bad boys before we give them their first turn. There's a reason I start with the salt. It's okay to have salt in your pepper, but it's not cool to have pepper in your salt. So if you use the salt first, then you don't wind up mixing the two up as bad. Plus, it's a lot easier to dust the salt off your hands than it is to get this pepper dusted off. See what I mean? Let's take a peek and see if they're ready to turn yet. Not yet. So the order in which we're going to cook everything is naturally the hash browns first. They take the longest. Then the onions that you watched me chop up on the time-lapse video go next. And then we will throw the beef on that was leftover rib roast, like I was telling you. Once all that gets cooking, we'll start assembling the bowl, and the last thing to go are going to be our eggs, because they cook the fastest. So I try to turn this over in sections, try to keep it together as best I can, because it helps keep the thickness. Oh yeah, we're getting some crispiness here. Look at that. Huh? Look at that crispy. But every time I turn them, I tighten them back up again, and that helps stop the inside from drying out. So you want the outside nice and crispy, but you don't want the inside to be dry. And now we can leave them alone and let them finish cooking. All right, let's get those onions cooking. Get a little bit of oil on the grill. When you hear that sizzle, you know your grill's up to temperature. Onions cook pretty fast, and there's nothing worse than a burnt onion, so we're just trying to get them translucent, soften them up a little bit, and get a little bit of color on them, and then we'll get them mixed in with the potatoes. I'm going to turn the potatoes one more time before I start mixing the onions in, and that last time, we're going to go ahead and let them sit until they're just about ready to go in the bowl, so we can get the good crisp on them and we're not mixing the potatoes all up. So with every step you should season, lightly season, because you're adding a lot of seasoning over multiple steps, so you have to be careful not to over season. Onions are cooking up really nicely. Let's give these potatoes another turn here. We have some serious crispiness going on here, so now we'll add our onions to the potatoes. All right, now we're going to get these stirred. I'll put the onions into the potatoes, and then we'll reset the potatoes again into that little patty I was telling you about. Once we get everything mixed up nice and good, then I'll turn the heat down on this side and just let these sit here and finish browning until it's time to make up our bowl. Let's get the steak started. It's already cooked. All we're doing is heating it through. Then we'll start assembling the bowls while we're cooking the eggs. I know it looks like a lot of steak, and it is, but this is one of those everything must go situations. So today was kind of the end of the line for the roast. We either used it or we were going to pitch it. I'm like, we're going to cut it all up and make it work. I'm purposely not going to add any more seasoning to the steak. That roast was highly seasoned. It had a really good crust on the outside, and we stuffed it with rosemary and garlic before we roasted it off in the oven. So I'm not going to bring any salt and pepper to the game now because it had plenty at its original cooking. That's the wonder of cooking outside. You get to be as messy as you want, because whatever you don't clean up, the rain will take care of. So Chrissy wants her eggs scrambled, so I'm going to scramble hers up. I'm going to have two fried eggs on top of mine this morning. I'm going to change it up a little bit. Look at that. Huh? I'm supposed to tell you about that crust. You can actually see it's working really good. I'm going to shut them down. And we're going to turn this up a smidgen, get a little bit of oil here. Let's get these eggs cooking and we'll be wrapped up and ready to go. So this is kind of a brunch for us. This is mid-morning, because like you guys know, I did my walk this morning. Went and got in the hot tub for a while, so this being a little bit later breakfast, this is kind of our brunch. You have to be on your toes because stuff cooks up really quickly on this thing. So there is a trick to cooking scrambled eggs on a Blackstone because they tend to run. And there is a drain in the back to allow everything off. So you start with a little, let them start to set up. And I use them to create a dam so that the rest of the eggs don't wind up running. There we go. Into the little recycle hole they got there. That was a little cheddar cheese for Chrissy's potatoes. We are about ready. Just like that, we're ready to eat. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode of Cooking with the Quades. Yummy breakfast coming up.
Put all your stuff away and check out for the day. There's no time to waste when it's 100 degrees. Burns under my feet. Won't you have a drink with me? We head into town, see what it's about. Barely need a shirt though the sun has almost set. Make the most of it. I know we will dance and sing. There's a heat wave. There's a heat wave rolling in. There's a heat wave, yeah. There's a party in the streets and the city's on fire.
Today was a self-care day for me. If you guys are ever in the Fort Myers area, stop by.
That's what men's grooming in Fort Myers.
And they'll make you look just like this. Check out my man Gustavo if you're in the area. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Well, good morning. This is our final day at Crystal Lake RV Resort. We are packing up, headed out, and we have thoroughly enjoyed our stay here. This is the longest we've been sitting still for the last 14 or 15 weeks since we left back in September.
A long time.
Yeah, we've had a couple of 5-6 day stays, but we actually sat here for 3 weeks and really enjoyed it.
It's nice. I'm ready to move on. This has been a great place. This is a resort. So there's 2 pools, there's 2 clubhouses, there's a putting green, there's tons of activities in the community. We met some really nice people at the pool. We met lots of nice people walking around. It's a fantastic place. It's a little pricey. It's a resort priced place. It's got a beautiful lake you can see behind us. Our site is all, what would you call this? Pavers?
brick pavers.
Brick pavers. It's beautiful. And the hookups are nice. The owners have a casita. Most owners have a casita that have a washer and dryer, maybe a bathroom, something like that in it. But this is our second year staying here, and we really, really enjoy it here. It's absolutely beautiful. All right, we're on to our next adventure. We will see you guys there. And make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Smash that like button. And hit that notification bell so you always know when a new episode comes out. See you next time.
Bye.
So we spotted another raccoon, and Mike said, raccoons swim. And I said, well, do they know how to...
There's a reason I start with the salt. It's ODK. So now that honey's an elite. So we just wrapped up here at the Corkscrew. What's it called?
Corkscrew Sanctuary.
And the leftover bee. Yeah, that's going to make it on the blooper reel, I'm sure. Master this. Let me try it again. That'll be the blooper. Couldn't
Blah. You're going to say, come on. Okay, so come along with us. We're on to our next...
I can't do it.